Hello, everyone. I'm Brad Scheller, and today I want to discuss with you the final stages of your product development process. Specifically, your team has done everything needed up to this point, and now the big day. You get to pitch your idea to the people who hold the money to make your concept go to the market. But before you can do that, you need to answer one critical question. And that's the same question every investor, every executive, every product manager will ask you. Does this make financial sense? What's in it for us? This week, we learned the language of product economics, how you build the financial case for your innovation, and how you execute with the discipline that turns great ideas into actual products. Let's get into it. As always, here's your week 13 checklist. Start with this kickoff video, then move to the lecture on making the pitch. That content is critical as you prepare your final presentation for next week. Read chapters 16 and 17, covering patents and the economics of product development. Watch the great product presentation examples I pulled together from prior courses. Watch the kit rebranding and Guy Kawasaki videos. All are short and powerful. Of course, the notebook LN check-in and the weekly quiz. Your team deliverable is due Sunday-ish. Try to make that date or soon after, and let's get ready for the final presentation week. So picture this. You're standing in front of a CEO or the board or a venture capitalist pitching a new product concept. The financial conversation is entirely about the market sizing and what's in it for them. The question they are asking is simple. How big is this, and how much of it can you realistically capture? TAM, the total addressable market, is every potential buyer of this category on Earth with no constraints whatsoever. You use this number to prove the opportunity is worth pursuing at all. If your TAM is $50 million, most VCs stop listening, pull out their smartphones, and start playing video games. That's a secret, but that's what they actually do. If it's 50 billion, you have their attention. SAM, serviceable addressable market, is the portion of TAM you can actually reach given your geography, your channel, your price point, and your product fit. This is where you demonstrate strategic judgment. You're not chasing everyone. You are deliberately choosing where to compete and explaining why you can win there. SOM, which is serviceable obtainable market, is your realistic capture in years 1 through 3. This is the single most important number in your pitch because this becomes your revenue projection. Every assumption behind it will be challenged in the room. What's your conversion rate? What share of SAM can you penetrate in year 1? What's your churn rate? Document all of it. Present 3 scenarios, conservative, base, and upside. The investor who sees you stress testing your own assumptions will trust your judgment far more than one who sees a single optimistic number going up and to the right. Your TAM, SAM, and SOM are not facts. They're assumptions, and every one of them can be and probably is wrong. Sensitivity analysis is the discipline of asking, what happens to my revenue projections when those assumptions shift? The 5 variables that drive your SOM are the ones every investor will immediately challenge. First, is your TAM size assumption? Is it accurate? Is the total category actually as large as your source data suggests? Second, your SAM filter rate. What percentage of TAM can you truly reach given your channel, geography, and price points? Third, your SOM penetration rate. What share of SAM can you realistically capture in years 1 through 3? And how are you going to achieve those numbers? Fourth, your average selling price, or ARPU, because SOM multiplied by average selling price equals revenue, and a 10% shift in price moves your numbers significantly. And fifth, sales cycle length, because if your sales cycle is 6 months instead of 3, your year 1 revenue is half what you projected. Now here's the critical discipline. Run 3 scenarios every time, conservative, base, and upside. Show the floor. What does the business look like if your SAM filter is half what you assumed? Show the ceiling. What does full penetration at full price look like? And again, the CEO or VC who sees you stress testing your own model is going to trust your judgment far more than a simple optimistic line. Present the range before they ask for it. Now, here's a concept that's going to change how you think about every scheduled decision for the rest of your career, and that's the cost of delay. Every week your product launches later than it could have, you're forfeiting revenue. If your product generates $12 million in annual revenue, that is $230,000 per week of delay. A 3-month slip costs $3 million. Not in overrun costs, but in revenue that never comes back. 3 common causes of avoidable delay include feature creep. Every feature added must justify the delay it creates. Most cannot. Redesign cycles caused by inadequate user research at the front end. This is why we spend so much time on discovery in this course. And organizational gate review delays, where approvals and sign-off eat months with zero product improvement whatsoever. And this is the difference that we saw in Tesla versus traditional manufacturers. Speed is a strategic choice. Before you decide to slip a schedule, calculate what that slip actually costs. The numbers will change your mind. So one of your reading assignments this week is chapter 18, which covers the organizational side of product development. How you structure your team is a strategic decision that shapes everything: speed, innovation capacity, and accountability. There are 3 models. The functional teams organize people by department. That's the old traditional way. Deep expertise, but slow cross-functional decisions and no single project owner. This is great for incremental improvements within an established product line. Now, heavyweight project teams give a dedicated project manager real authority to pull people across functions. There's better coordination, clearer accountability, and this is the model most large product companies use for major platform development. Autonomous teams are fully separate units with their own resources and culture. We saw that in Tesla and Rocket X. Maximum focus, maximum innovation potential, but expensive and hard to reintegrate. Use this when you need breakthrough thinking that your core organization would otherwise kill through inertia. There's no universally right answer to this, by the way. The right structure depends on the type of innovation, the level of disruption required, and the organization's capacity for change. But as we saw in Tesla and Rocket X, there is a reward from Wall Street for the companies that move fast. This week, aside from the lecture on how to make the pitch, you're also going to watch content on how to make the pitch from other sources, because your final presentation is a business case, not a school project. Guy Kawasaki's rule is simple: 10 slides, 20 minutes, 30-point minimum font. If you need more than 10 slides to explain your product, you have not thought it through clearly enough. Lead with the problem, never the solution. And make your audience feel the pain before you reveal the answer. If they do not care about the problem, they're not going to care about the solution or your product. The demo is the hero of any product presentation. A working prototype beats a slide deck every single time. Show, do not tell. And financials are a story, not a spreadsheet. Your TAM tells investors what is possible. Your SAM tells what you can realistically strive for. And your SOM tells them what you aim to achieve in years 1 through 3. Watch the Kit Rebranding documentary this week. It is a masterclass in how to present a brand evolution with conviction and clarity. Study it carefully. And to wrap this up, here's your week 13 deliverable list. Your team's going to build a financial model with TAM, SAM, and SOM. Every assumption clearly documented, not hidden. Run a sensitivity analysis on at least 3 key variables and show the range of outcomes. Calculate your cost of delay and attach it to every schedule decision you discuss. Justify your team structure and using the Chapter 18 criteria. Then draft your 10-slide pitch using Kawasaki's framework. This becomes your final presentation skeleton. And build a risk register with your top 5 project risks, probability, impact, and mitigation plans. These are due Sunday at 11:59. If you need a day or 2 later because you're working hard on it, I can understand. But next week is the final presentation. Everything you've built up to this course comes together in one video presentation. So this week's work is the backbone of that moment. Don't skip it. I'll be looking forward to giving you feedback, and I'll see you at the finals. Thank you again for your attention to this presentation.